This video is brought to you by Hit Point Press and the month of Heckna. Pre-order now to get new content each week, including Heckna's Hellish Howlings, the official soundtrack by Mint Potion. Pre-order now at heckna.com. Hello and welcome to The Gallant Goblin. We just received Fizban's Treasury of Dragons in the mail, and I wanted to give you my first impressions and an overview of what's in the book. This is a guidebook to all of Dragonkind in the D&D universe. Many thanks to Wizards of the Coast for sending it to us, and this is the first time I get to say that. This book includes little asides from this friendly fellow, Fizban the Fabulous, from the Dragonlance setting. To start with, let's go through this book chapter by chapter to see what we have. Then we'll do a live Q&A about Fizban on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, leading into the debut of our next episode of Candlekeep Deconstruction. If you have preliminary questions, leave them in the comments section here and I'll answer you straight away, or I'll answer you during the Q&A. And remember that we launched our membership program here on YouTube to help keep us on the air. Being a member gets you access to exclusive news videos, like the one we just launched this morning about Minsk and Boo's Journal of Villainy, and the new way out there Unearthed Arcana that came out recently, among other topics. And you get access to exclusive actual plays and priority responses to your questions and comments. To learn more, just click that little join button below the video here. And for info about the Kobold Plush over here, check out koboldplush.com. Okay, let's get started. The introduction of the book brings us lore about the First World, created by Bahamut and Tiamat before the creation of the material plane and all the other realms. Dragons are more than just powerful magical creatures. They are living embodiments of the primordial energy of the First World. We get the histories of dragons in the Forgotten Realms setting, Greyhawk, Dragonlance, and Eberron. Then we move directly into Chapter 1, which is all about character creation options, which is divided into 4 sections: Draconic races, subclass options, heroes of the dragons, and Draconic feats. For the races, you can choose between Chromatic, Metallic, or Gem Dragonborn. Now, I'm currently of the opinion that your race choice in D&D doesn't really have enough of a mechanical impact on your game to make any one race feel all that different from playing any other race outside of role-playing. And the Dragonborn races here don't really do too much to change that. All 3 Dragonborn races are medium-sized humanoids with 30 feet of movement speed and ability score increases that they can spend however they like. They each have a damage type associated with them, as you can see here, a breath weapon that uses that damage type, and resistance to that type of damage. The breath weapons behave slightly differently. For the Chromatic Dragonborn, it's a 30-foot line that's 5 feet wide, and for the Gem and Metallic Dragons, it's a 15-foot cone. So the only real difference between them, besides the damage type, is a couple of abilities. The Chromatic Dragonborn can be immune to their damage type for a minute a day at 5th level. The Gem Dragons are telepathic and can fly for a minute per day starting at 5th level. And the Metallic Dragons have an additional breath weapon at 5th level. When they use it, they can choose for it to be an innervating attack that can incapacitate foes, or a repulsion attack that can push them back and knock them prone. So yeah, I mean, it's another set of D&D races, which is great, though I'm not really going to be happy until they introduce feat trees for each race to flesh out your racial abilities as you get to higher levels. For our subclass options, we get the Way of the Ascendant Dragon for the Monk, which is based on Bahamut. They're able to imbue their unarmed attacks with certain dragon-related elements, gain a breath weapon themselves, gain a flying speed, gain the frightful presence and resistance of a dragon, and at 17th level, they're able to enhance their breath weapon with Ki, among other powers. It seems like a pretty nifty little subclass. And the Ranger gets the Drake Warden subclass. They gain a Drake Companion, which can grow up to be a mount and a pretty strong fighting pal. It's not a flying mount until 15th level, though. I do love this, though. You get to raise a dragon officially, and this is all many folks, including myself, have ever wanted. Beyond the subclasses, we get 3 feats: the Gift of the Chromatic Gem and Metallic Dragon. Chapter 2 gives us 7 new dragon-based spells and 13 magic items. It also introduces the idea of hoard items, which grow in power while they absorb the ambient magic in a dragon's hoard. There are 4 stages of these items: slumbering, stirring, wakened, and ascendant, based on the age of the dragon whose hoard the item is in. For example, after a year in a young dragon's hoard, an item is stirring. And after a year in an ancient dragon's hoard, it's ascendant. We get several types of these items: a Dragon's Wrath weapon, Dragon Touched Focus, Dragon Vessel, which is like a potion bottle or a drinking horn, and a Scaled Ornament. Each of these types has an entry for each stage that it might be in. So for the weapon, at the slumbering state, when you hit with it and get a crit, it does a bit of damage to nearby foes. But at the ascendant state, it has all the abilities that came before it and becomes a +3 weapon that deals 3d6 extra damage and can emit a 60-foot cone effect that deals 12d6 damage once per day. There are also a lot of cool quirks about these items that I haven't even talked about yet, making this one of my favorite parts of the book so far outside of that Drake Warden Ranger. There's also new draconic gifts that they can bestow. Chapter 3 is all about incorporating dragons into your games and stories. There are loads of tips about role-playing dragons, crafting their personalities, information about their abilities and organizations, and their goals at various age levels. You get info on dragon eggs, half-dragons, what happens when dragons die, and their relationship with undeath. All of this comes with various role tables to not only craft dragons, but to give you quest hooks to build into your story. You get hooks about undead dragons, the cult of the dragon, the chamber, which is a cult of dragons, loths, which are small communes of like-minded dragons, and story hooks for an apocalyptic set of dragons called the Inheritors of the First World. So it's all very good about building your story. There's also a ton of info about relationships a dragon might have and guidance on crafting encounters, adventures, and whole campaigns centered around dragons. All of this is great for crafting your own encounters and campaigns. Then we get to Chapter 4, Layers and Hordes, where the last chapter helped you design your own dragon with goals and a personality. This will let you build up their lair with information about where they like to build their lair, region effects that may be in place, and lair actions that you can implement. The Horde portion of the chapter teaches you how the dragon might hide and protect its horde, how it might have cursed items or be haunted, what might be in it with lots of roll tables and charts about gold and magic items and art objects and gems and just regular mundane items. And Chapter 5 is the Draconomicon. This is a huge chunk of the book. Each type of dragon gets several pages that are primarily roll tables for things like personality traits, ideals, adventure hooks, connections the dragons might have based on their ages, and how to build its layers with layer features, sample maps, and how that particular dragon's horde might be unique. Also, there's a sidebar for each dragon type, giving you a little story highlighting one of the legendary dragons of that type. For example, Emrith for blue dragons. All of this information is to help you build your own dragons for your stories. Here's an example for you. The Amethyst dragon with information about rolling up their personality and some adventure hooks to kickstart your imagination. And here's a sample dragon layer map. So there are 20 types in all in this book. Black, blue, green, red, and white are chromatic dragons. Brass, bronze, copper, gold, and silver are metallics. Amethyst, emerald, moonstone, sapphire, and topaz are new gem dragons. And the rest, crystal, deep dragons, dragon turtles, fairy dragons, and shadow dragons, and Marianne and the Professor. So you get all those roll tables and layer maps for each one of those types. Then Chapter 6 is our bestiary, where the stat blocks live. This gives you all the basic info we need on those new gem dragons, including the Sapphire Dragon, which got a bit of an early preview for D&D's 45th anniversary, plus the Crystal and Deep dragons. We also get info and stats for a dragon's animated breath weapon, which is a super cool idea. You can use some of those animated spell minis that we got a while back to represent these on your map. There's also the strongest monsters in the set, the aspect of Bahamut and the aspect of Tiamat, each CR30 creatures. They are physical manifestations of these awesome creatures that are sent to the material plane to help or to cause massive destruction. And the aspect of Tiamat stat block is entirely different from the existing one in the Rise of Tiamat adventure. There are also a few pages dedicated to the new Dragon Age category, the Great Worm. These are really strong creatures. There's a stat block for a CR27 chromatic, CR26 gem, and CR28 metallic Great Worm. You also get a CR11 Draco Hydra, a series of stat blocks for draconians who are born from corrupted dragon eggs. They look like hulked up dragonborns with wings. There's also the CR17 Draconic Shard, which is sometimes left behind when a gem dragon dies. a CR5 Dragon Blood Ooze, a CR11 Dragon Bone Golem, several stat blocks for Dragonborn champions of dragons like Bahamut, Sardior, and Tiamat, the CR3 Dragon Flesh Grafter, who thinks it's a good idea to replace their limbs with dragon limbs, the CR6 Dragon Flesh Abomination, for someone who doesn't know when to stop, several dragon followers like the CR5 Dragon Blessed, the CR3 Dragon Chosen, and the CR2 Dragon Speaker. You also get the CR2 Dragonelle, which is basically a large-sized non-sentient dragon. And there are more entries for various ages of dragon turtles and something called egg hunters, which are parasites that seek out dragon eggs. There's also the CR5 Gem Stalker, which is created by a gem dragon when it kills an aberrant creature from the far realm. And the Stalker can then serve as a dragon's guard or errand boy. Then there's the CR17 Ghost Dragon, Horde Mimics, which are fun, Horde Scarabs for anyone who wants to roleplay as Ted Cord or Jaime Reyes. There are CR18 Hollow Dragons, which are undead metallic dragons. And you have the CR7 Lion Drakes, which are as fierce as they are funny looking. And then we have 2 stat blocks for Metallic Sentinels, which are peace-loving constructs made by metallic dragons. Next are several stat blocks for various ages of sea serpents. But I've saved the best 2 for last. First, we have the Eye Drake, which is what you get when a beholder has a dragon rival that gets into their head a little bit too much. The beholder dreams into being a basically dragon beholder. It's a CR8 creature with an anti-magic breath attack and eye rays. And my other favorite is the Elder Brain Dragon. When a colony of mind flayers is able to capture a dragon, they can sometimes have it bind with their Elder Brain, resulting in the CR22 Elder Brain Dragon. It has a tadpole brine breath weapon, which just sounds horrifying. I love it. So that's a quick flip through of Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. If you love dragons and want to in future stories with more dragon lore, items, spells, and monsters, this is the book for you. If you want to make your own dragon and dragon-based adventures, this book will definitely help you do that. There aren't any full adventures in here, so if you're like me and you don't have time to write your own homebrew stories, you can also use this book to enhance your pre-written adventures. It would do wonders for something like Rise of Tiamat, or even something more open-ended like Storm King's Thunder. But there are a ton of dragon-based story hooks to kickstart your own creativity if you do have that time, and they fill out the D&D dragon lore to help you really understand the context in which these great magical creatures exist, which should also help you craft your stories. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll try to answer them here in our Wednesday Q&A at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or in the comment section down below, or in a future video. And let me know what you think about the book so far. The book releases into stores and on D&D Beyond on October 26th, 2021. The special edition copy over here is available in your local game stores. They have an MSRP of $49.95, and the book is 224 pages long. Finally, if you haven't checked out Heckna from Hit Point Press yet, I highly recommend you go take a closer look. We are in the last week of the month of Heckna, and if you want to pick it up, now's the time to do it while there's still a pre-order discount. Heckna is a 5e adventure that'll take characters from level 1 to 10 in a whimsical but sinister dark carnival setting. You can get the PDF of the book for just $25, which also features printable reference cards, maps, standees, and other reference materials. And you'll also get the Heckna soundtrack by Mint Potion. You gotta act soon though. Go visit heckna.com right now and check it out. And thank you for watching today. Check out our new membership options by using that join button down below the video here, and sign up to be notified when we launch our Kobold Plushie Kickstarter at koboldplush.com. Also, come join me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For now though, please stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.